Well, I'm Roger Kirby. I'm a urologist, and John Anderson, my friend, my colleague, is a fellow urologist, and he's also a fellow prostate cancer sufferer. How strange is that? We're here really to discuss the pros and cons of the very famous but very controversial PSA test. PSA stands for prostate-specific antigen. Some people say it's a promoter of stress and anxiety. But in my view, it is a valuable test, and it should be used as a marker for prostate cancer, but only, I think, John, in patients who are fully informed. So tell me about information. What information should a man have before he has a PSA test?
Well, I think you're absolutely right, Roger. You are a success story from PSA testing. I would say PSA testing has failed me. I had a normal PSA 4 months before I was diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer. I had metastatic disease in my liver. Now, even in that position, I would still argue that PSA is a good test, but it has its limitations. Men should understand that the PSA can be elevated without the patient having prostate cancer.
Due to an enlarged prostate?
Anything that affects the prostate can cause the PSA to go up.
Sure. The
only way we can be sure is by doing biopsies. So there's a worry that the test isn't good enough at focusing on cancer in the prostate. And then the flip side of that, of course, is you can have a normal PSA and you can have very advanced disease, which was the boat I found myself in, I'm afraid. Now, once you understand those limitations, you can see the value of the test. But to go and have a PSA test without understanding that leaves you a worried man in all likelihood. It will produce the stress and anxiety that you talk of.
Sure. One of the problems is, I think, that if the PSA is raised, then you're likely to get referred to a urologist, and the urologist is likely to do a biopsy. And biopsy, having had one, is not fun, it's not too bad, but it does carry some risks of complications, infection and bleeding. So I think the way ahead is, and maybe this is something that the charity Prostate Cancer UK should be promoting, is what we need is better imaging of the prostate. There is this 3 Tesla MRI scanning, magnetic resonance imaging scanning, which can show shadows within the prostate in the same way that a mammogram shows a lump in a lady's breast. And if there's a lump there, shadow on an MRI, then you can target the biopsy. If there's no shadow, then you can watch and wait, monitor the PSA.
Sure.
So promoting to a man that he should know his numbers, he should be fully informed, but know what his PSA is.
I will be absolutely up for that, Roger. Men should know, provided they understand the limitations, but to have a test in isolation would be wrong. That is why we can't use it in a national screening programme. You can't just apply the test to a man without telling him the limitations of the test. Now, when you know the limitations, you take it forward in the way you have. An MRI scan can help select out those who need a biopsy. And then the way I see it going forward, Roger, is there will be a better test come along. And that's what we're waiting for at the moment.
Sure. But for now, for me, PSA was providentially sent antigen. For John, he wasn't so lucky, and it shows that it's a test that has its pros, it has its cons, it has its advocates, and it has its detractors. We're not there yet, but I think we're getting there. We're making progress.